Greetings! Today I decided I would do a tier list of all the books I've read on the Libby app. And as I went through, that's from 2017 until now in 2025. So I went through and I picked out all the ones that I actually did get to and read. So I have 51 different books that I'm going to rank and talk about. And so let's get started. I've got the different tiers. I've got my favorites, great, good, meh, and did not finish. Because there are a few on here that I started and did not finish because they were not good. But, or for other reasons sometimes. So let's start with the first one I ever read through my Libby app was 2 a.m. at the Cat's Pajamas. And that was actually really good. It was a really fun, it takes place over like one night. And I'm trying to remember, because again, this was back in 2017, but I still remember it, surprisingly. I tend to have a very hard time remembering books. Like, I know I liked them, but a lot of times I'm like, what actually happened? But this one I actually remember. I remember it pretty well. Because I think it's set in the city, and I think something to do with a jazz club, which is the Cat's Pajamas. And I think it's like this little girl is trying to like find her God, why don't I remember what this is about? I'm gonna look it up now because that's annoying. What is it about? So it was really good, and something with a jazz club, and then the rest of it starts to fall apart. At the Cat's Pajamas. Let's check it out on Goodreads. Okay, that's what it was. For some reason I thought she was like trying to find her dad or something. No, so this 9-year-old is like an aspiring jazz singer, and so she treks her way across, I guess, Philadelphia. I remembered it was a city, to get to this jazz club, and there's other stories going along with it. And it was really well written and really fun. I'm gonna put that one in great, because that one was really fun. Alright, so now we have Neil Gaiman's Graveyard Book. And I actually really like this book. Again, I know there's some issues right now with Neil Gaiman, but The Graveyard Book is a really good book. It's apparently it's sort of a retelling of the Jungle Book. I didn't actually realize that when I read it, but then I looked at the back and it said something about that. I'm like, oh, okay. And you can kind of see it, but so the premise is there's an assassin who kills this whole family except for this little kid. And he gets away and ends up in a graveyard, and all the ghosts there end up taking care of him. And he's got a mentor, they never say it, but it's highly implied he's a vampire. And it's just sort of him growing up in the graveyard, because for some reason when he's there, he's protected from this assassin who's still looking for him, because that was his job and he's looking to finish it. And it's at least 10, maybe 12 years of him growing up. And it's really cute. So I'm gonna have to put it in great. It's one of my favorite books. We have Station 11 is incredible. It's a dystopian book where it starts on the night of this. What's great about it is I read it before 2020 because it's a dystopian book where this disease runs through all of humanity, and like 90% of people die from it, and then the 10% that are left that were immune to it or whatever, that survive this pandemic, start their own society again. And it's sort of that it looks at how society really functions, because when you're stripped that much down to that few of people, and there's no more commerce, like everything gets set down to a microcosm of society. And it's a really interesting story and sort of that theme, and it's really fun. And it's really interesting because it's not just survival, because in the story the main character is part of this town, and there's this like traveling group of like Shakespearean actors, and it's just really interesting because it shows that even when society rebuilds itself, you still have theater, you still have music and art and creativity, and that's what drives the human spirit. And it's a really good book. It's really heavy, and I don't know if I could reread it now. I'm glad I read it before the living through an actual pandemic, but Yeah, it's a lot darker than you would think, but that one's really good. Is it a favorite? I'm gonna put it in great because it's really good. It's not quite one of my favorites. There's ones in here that I like even more. All right, now we have Neil Gaiman's American Gods, and I actually started this, and something about the first characters you meet, I just could not latch onto it. I didn't like it, so I actually didn't finish this one. I know American Gods is one of Neil Gaiman's most acclaimed books, but I just couldn't get into it. I think if I try again, I might be able to read it and get into it, but it didn't hook me at first, so I just gave up. So that's a did not finish. And then we have Red Rising, which is so good. It's a sci-fi fantasy dystopian, a lot like Hunger Games kind of theme, where there's an overruling society that's keeping people down and using their basically using them as slaves, and different factions, and they kind of teach each faction to hate each other rather than focusing on the main government that's keeping them down. And then people figure this out and start an uprising and trying to take back their lives. And so it is really good. It's pretty intense. It's very fast paced and very intense. And I've only read the first one, but apparently there are 7 books. The most recent one was published just this year, so I'm gonna have to get into the series, but this one was great. Alright, now we have Hugo and Rose. This one was weird. It was a really interesting story, because the premise is we start following Rose, and every night she goes to sleep and she has this reoccurring dream of being on an island and exploring around, and she meets Hugo in her dream, and it's just sort of this adventure. And it's interesting that every time it's the same dream, and she just kind of goes back, and then you kind of figure out that it's almost like a different dimension, and then it starts to sort of bleed into reality. And I actually didn't finish it because it got really weird 3/4 of the way through, and I went, no, I can't. It's really interesting, but I couldn't finish it because it got way too weird, because there were these different monsters and stuff on the island, and they start coming into reality, and I was just nope, not dealing with actual monsters. I don't know what it was. The way it was told was I couldn't figure out exactly what was going on, and it was more weird than intriguing for me. So it was actually a did not finish. It was very good. I would probably put it in good if I had finished it, but I didn't finish it, so I'm gonna have to put it in did not finish. I might try reading it again, but again, life's too short to read bad books, so. It was well written, it just got very confusing, so. Anyway. Oh, and now we have Night Circus, which is my all-time favorite book. It is so good. How do I explain Night Circus? I had it in my top 5 books video. But, so it's these 2 rivals who they're made to be rivals by their mentors, because their mentors are having a competition or game kind of thing, and so they pit their... I cannot think of... What's the word? There's a mentor, and then under a mentor is... Apprentice! That's... God, wow. That was bad. So they're pitting their apprentices against each other in this, game battle kind of thing, so they're... And it's set in a circus, this traveling circus, so it's very mystical, magical... smoke and mirrors kind of stuff, and it actually does involve actual magic, but it's at each stop or something they have different exhibits at the circus, and it just kind of keeps building it up and up, and obviously they're rivals, they're pitted against each other by their mentors, but they end up falling in love, and so it's that love story, and it's just so good. That is my top recommendation for anybody who likes, fantasy, romance kind of thing, and circus, because it is so steeped in that kind of smoke and mirrors circus kind of vibe, and it's so good. That is my aesthetic. It's like 1930s circus. I don't know. But it's that kind of vibe. It's so good. I think it's modern, but like it's set in modern times. I don't think it's set in like the 1930s, but it's that kind of like vintagey circus feel is my vibe. So it fits that very well. Oh, the Dahlia Moss series, because actually it's a trilogy. But anyway, the Dahlia Moss series is really good. It's sort of, weirdly, it's like a Dungeons and Dragons themed mystery series. Maybe not Dungeons and Dragons, more World of Warcraft, because I think they reference that in it. So it's just that, you know, that great nerdy culture kind of thing, and she's in that. And she's kind of just this, like, bumbling, like, college graduate, I think is about her age. And she's just sort of, like, super nerdy and a little bit bumbling, but she ends up sort of in the, like, trying to solve this mystery. And there's the three different books that, there's different ones, and she kind of tries to be an amateur sleuth, and it's just so fun. It's written so funny. That one's really good. I'm gonna put that one in grade. All three are fantastic, and I love them. So we've got Stardust. Stardust is really good. I saw the movie first, and then went, oh, it's a book, I should read it. So I saw the movie and had no idea that it was a Neil Gaiman book. And then I found out, I'm like, how did I not know this? Like, but it's very well written. It's very similar to the movie, but it has a lot more lore, and obviously it's deeper than the movie. That's how, you know, book to movie goes. But I really liked Stardust. It was really fun. Would I put it in great, or would I put it in good? It's a fun fantasy. I love the movie. And the book was just as good. Would I put it up with these? Yeah, you know what? It's really good. We're going to put it in great. Alright, now we have Armada, which is written by Ernest Cline, who also did the Ready Player One, which I love the Ready Player One. I own Ready Player 2. I haven't read it yet. But I love that book. But this one was more that... what's the movie? Starfighters? Whatever, where it's like, this kid gets really good at video games, and then he gets brought in to be part of a military group, because that's what the game was training him to be. And so I started and went, no. Like, interesting concept, but I didn't like the military aspect of it. Which I know is kind of similar to Ender's Game. But, like, Ender's Game, they know they're in the military. It's not like, oh, I'm a really good video game guy. Oh, now I'm being pulled into a military scheme. It's very well written, and I love Ernest Cline, but I just didn't like the premise of Armada, so that was a did not finish. Alright, and then we have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, she's amazing. I love Fangirl. It was really fun. I'm trying to remember what it was about, though, because, again, I read it back in 2017 or 2018, and I have a problem with kind of forgetting storylines at times, but I do remember enjoying it. It was she's, like, really obsessed with these characters, and then I don't remember what the premise was. That's fun. What is the Simonson? Okay. Yeah, so it's about she's very obsessed with these fictional characters and fan fiction, and but it's her sort of learning how to grow up and go to college and stuff. It was good. I'm gonna put it in good just because I couldn't remember what it was about, but it was fun. It's a fun book. But it's just sort of a lighthearted coming-of-age kind of story. And then we've got Queen of Geek, which is really fun. It's about these three friends, and it skips between perspectives between the three of them. One of them is an actress who's in a movie adaptation of a big sci-fi fantasy book. I think it's a fantasy book. So she's the actress in that, and it's sort of her dealing with fame and relationship issues, and then her two friends, and I think they're in love with each other and don't really realize it, and it's sort of their drama around that, and it's all set in them going to this convention and sort of the things that happen there and all that. drama going along with it, and it's really cute. It's really fun. I actually read it and then picked up a copy, so I have that on my shelf. That one's really good. But I'm gonna put it in good, actually, because it's a fun read, but it's not like it's not a life-changing book, but it was a fun read and a really nice. I liked the theme, like the setting and the characters and everything. Oh yeah, and then I read Wild, which was fun. It was good. It was a nice sort of journey type story, and I'm sure we all know it from the movie. Never watched the movie. Never watched it? No, I didn't watch the movie. Like, I saw so many commercials for it, I'm like, did I watch it or not? But Wild was fun. It was good. I would put it in good. Oh, and then we've got Lillian Boxish Takes a Walk. And it's really cool. It's sort of a character... what words am I looking for? I think I'm too warm. I'm gonna change because I think the sweater is too warm. I was like, it's still cold. No, it's like 70 out, so I'm gonna go change.
A few moments later.
Okay, something a little cooler. Nice camisole and cardigan. I still like to have my arms covered. I get really cold if they're not. It's kind of funny. But anyway, Lillian Boxish Takes a Walk is really good. It's a good character study. There we go. It's a really good character study, and it's her... I think she's just walking to a party. She lives in the city, and she's just sort of walking down the street. It's sort of her reminiscing about her life and all the things she's done, and it's really good. It was really a fun read. Yeah, it was very character-driven. It was really good. I'll put that in great. And then we have A Simple Favor, which was actually very good. I also watched the movie they did. It was a really cool mystery. It was very well written. I didn't like the sort of, what's the sort of genre? Like the Gossip Girl, kind of like high society women kind of stuff in modern times. But it was actually very well written and a really interesting, intriguing sort of mystery. So I'm going to put it in good. It's a good book. Oh. Now, Satellite. Satellite is such a cool book. So the premise is there's these 4 kids that were born on a space station. So they've lived their entire lives in zero gravity on a space station. And I think when we start the story, they're about 15. They're like early teens. And they're finally coming back to Earth. And so from, living in 0G, coming back to Earth, they were doing, different exercises and stuff to sort of try to keep up their muscle mass and sort of like prepare them for coming to Earth. But they come back and it's sort of, it's not how they expected, because your body develops completely differently if you're only in 0G, so like they end up having issues on Earth, and it's just a really interesting story. I won't say any more to spoil it, but it was really cool, and just an interesting perspective of, because we have the perspective of living on Earth, and they've never been to Earth. It's like it's a foreign planet to them. They've only lived they're human, but they've only lived in space, and it's a really interesting, and sort of on their own, too. They've had, I think that, like, their parents were astronauts, but they've had, like, a nanny. Like, I don't think they were actually brought up by their parents, because their parents didn't stay up in space that whole time. But because they were born there, they kind of had to stay there until they were grown enough, because there would have been more issues if they came down early. But it was just a really... really cool and, like, thoughtful book. Do I put it in favorites? It was really good. You know what? It's really unique, and I would definitely read it again, so I'm going to put it in favorites. Yeah, there we go. And then Noteworthy. I think this one was about a college girl who wanted to try out for the a cappella singing group or something, but they only had openings in the tenor section, so she pretends to be a guy to get into the tenor section so she can be in the singing group. And it was cute. It wasn't that memorable. I actually had to look up what it was about again when I was picking. I was like, oh yeah, I read this. What was it about? But it was fine. I'll put it in good because it wasn't meh, but it was good. Oh, and then the Otherworld series is very cool. It's very similar to Ready Player One and those kind of things. So there's a gaming company that has these like glasses that shows a different... Let me look it up so I have a better explanation, because it was really good. It was really good sci-fi. Otherworld. Yeah, so it's a great young adult science fiction. And like the Otherworld is supposed to be a video game, but it sort of bleeds into reality, and sort of the way the company that made Otherworld is kind of trying to like make it the new reality, and it's really good sci-fi. It's really fun. So I'm gonna put that one in great. Okay, Going Bovine was really good until the ending. I won't spoil it, but like there's a weird twist ending where I was like, what? But the whole story is really good. So just if you don't like shocking twist endings, don't read it. But otherwise, it's a really good book. I'll put it under good because yeah, I have mixed feelings about it because it was a good story, but by how it ends and what that means, it's kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this, so I'm gonna put it in good. Be More Chill. It was really good. So it was this high schooler. I know there's a musical, or there was a musical on Broadway about it. I never saw it, or I don't think I've ever heard the music from it, but the book was really good. It's this high schooler, and there's this pill or like computer thing. This thing you can take. Yeah, I guess it's a pill. And it's like a computer that goes in your brain and like tells you how to be cool. And it's his journey of that. And it's like if it's actually real and interesting. And that one was good. Again, I used to be really into young adult, and now I'm like, okay, they're too young. I can't relate to high school characters anymore. But I used to be like, oh my gosh, all the young adult stuff. So, and these are also like roughly in order of when I read them. So it's an interesting thing to watch, like what books I read one after the other. Like, yeah. Because I remember Going Bovine and Be More Chill, I like read in a row. And so that was an interesting like combo of books. I felt like they had a similar vibe, so I don't know how I would describe Going Bovine, but like it's sort of a journey story, and then the ending is very confusing. But yeah. Now we have Meddling Kids, which is so good. Like I said in my recommendation video, it's the best synopsis I can give is if the Scooby-Doo gang grew up and battled eldritch horrors. And it's written with this great, witty narrative, and it's from all the different perspectives, and it's so good. I'm gonna put that in favorites, because this is one of my favorite books, is Meddling Kids. It's so good. Oh, and then we have Little Paris Bookshop, which is one of my favorite romance novels. It's not really a romance, when you think of romance novel, it's not really a romance novel, but it's a romantic novel, I guess. And it's another journey one. It's this bookshop owner who has a bookshop on a barge, and like 20, 30 years prior, he fell in love, but then she died, and so he's kind of like, his life is sort of stalled since then. And then due to certain circumstances, he ends up going on this journey, like taking his boat out, and like, because it's in Little Paris Bookshop. I think they end up driving it down the Seine, and like they're driving to, I can't remember the destinations, but they have a destination in mind, and they're driving through France. And it's sort of the main character coming to terms with the fact that the love of his life is gone and that he has to, like, actually start living again, and it's really good. So that one goes in favorites. Ooh. And then we've got Midnight Riot, or it's called... because it's called Midnight Riot in America, but it's actually Rivers of London, and that's the series. It's a series of 10 books now, and it's really good. It's sort of magical, paranormal murder mystery, the sort of urban fantasy kind of. It's really good. I'm gonna put that in great. That was another one in my recommendations video. We got Geekarella, which was a cute. I remember it was fun, but I don't really remember it. I'm gonna put it in good. That was a good one. People We Meet on Vacation was very good. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't actually finish it because I didn't get to the end by the time it was due back, and I just didn't bother taking it out again. Because Libby is actually through the library, and so you take out ebooks from the library, and so you can only keep them for up to 21 days. So, and then it automatically brings it back, but you can, take it out as many times. But I got about 3/4 of the way through, didn't finish it, so it was fine. I think I like the other Emily Henry books a little bit better, because again, I didn't get through this one as much. I'll just put it in good. Because I do love Emily Henry, and she writes beautifully, but that one I didn't get through enough. So, and then we got The Road Trip, which was really fun. It's these two people who are exes, but they end up driving together to a mutual friend's wedding, and it's just sort of them talking things through and sort of that trip to the wedding. It was good. It was cute. I'm gonna put it in good. Oh, and then Red, White, and Royal Blue is so good. So that one I'm gonna put in great. That's a good one. Well, then Juliet Takes a Breath. That was actually a really good LGBTQ romance and sort of finding yourself kind of novel. That one was really good. Good or great? Where would I put this one? It was fun, so I'm gonna put it in good. The Summer I Turned Pretty. Again, don't remember it much, but it was good. And I know there's more books in the series, so I'm just gonna put that one in good. Then we've got Bet on It, which was a really cute romance novel. It was actually my first romance novel that I read. The premise looked cute, and then I read it and I was like, oh, this is a lot more involved than I thought. Yeah. So these two people meet at bingo, and just sort of they decide, what is it? There's if they win at bingo, they get to go on a date kind of thing, and they go back every week, and it's whether or not they can. It was cute. I'll put it in good. Conventionally Yours is really cute. These two, I guess they're rivals, but they're competing in a card game, and they have to go to and there's a whole tournament at different conventions, and they end up having to travel together. And so it's sort of a enemies to lovers sort of story, and that one was really good. Good or great? Where did I put it? It was fun, so I'll put it in good. Oh. And then we have the Well Met series, which is so good. There's 4 in the series. They're all set at a Renaissance fair, and it's the people who work the Renaissance fair, and it's so good. I actually read them in backwards order because there's 4, and I went to take it out, and the first 3 were already taken out, so it was the 4th one was available, so I read that one, and then I read 3, 2, 1. I read them backwards, which was fine. There were a few little spoiler kind of things, but again, they're romance novels, so the 2 main characters are gonna end up together in the end of the book, so you see them together in the further books, because all the characters it's a big group of people that work the Renaissance fair. And so, they all know each other kind of thing. So, you see the couples throughout the books. And it's really good. I'm actually just rereading it in the correct order now. And it's really fun. I'm gonna put that one in great. I'm like, I was tempted to put it in favorites, but it's a silly romance novel. It's not like, oh my god, it's amazing. It's good. Wondering if there's gonna be any in meh, because like they were all good. You know what? I'm gonna bring this one down to meh. Going meh. You know what? I'm gonna bring Going Bovine down to meh because the ending bothered me. So yeah. No, Wild was good. It didn't throw me like. I feel like it's overhyped, but it was good. Okay. Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. It was very good. Another good LGBTQ romance novel. It was really fun. Didn't Enemies to Lovers? Not quite so. It was fun. I'm gonna put it in good. Oh, and then Boyfriend Material is so good. I love Alexis Hall. She's so good. And Boyfriend Material is so much fun. That's a fake relationship romance novel. It's so good because one of them needs to pretend they're in a relationship to like get through. I don't remember exactly the premise, but it was cute. So we're gonna put that in great. Alright, we're getting down there. So now we have Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore, which was really good. It's another one. Obviously it's a book themed novel, but there's this bookstore and something about the way it's set up, like he's got this like scavenger hunt kind of thing. So he's got these like people coming in and taking out books, and something about like the way there's like clues in each of the books. So they're all trying to find the end of the scavenger hunt to like be part of this like secret society kind of thing of like for books. It was really good. It was really fun. So that one was great. Oh, The Mad Girls of New York was so good. It's set in like the 30s, 40s, and it's this female reporter who's heard about like the bad conditions in the madhouses, and so she gets herself into one of the women's insane asylum and sort of sees all the horrible things that are happening in there. And it's actually based on a true story. There was someone who did this and like then came out with a whole news article about it. So it was very good. I'm gonna put that one in great. That was a really fun story. Here we go, One Last Stop. This is really good. Another LGBTQ love story. This woman rides the subway every day to work. One day in the subway car she's in, she meets this other woman and they start to get to talking and they like meet each other every day. And then she finds out that somehow in this car there's this weird, like there's a time flux. So the woman she's meeting is from 30 years before or something like that. So they just keep meeting on this one train car, and it's a really good story. That one's really fun. I'm gonna put that one in great. Whoop. There we go. We got Roaring Days of Zora Lily, which is a really good 1920s story about this woman who works as a seamstress, but then ends up wanting to be like live in the city and be part of the upper class. And she sort of gets a job, sort of seamstressing. Wow, that was for like a nightclub and stuff. And so it's the story of that. It was really good. I did end up not finishing it just because it got returned and then I didn't take it out again. I might get it again just to finish it, but it was really good, and I love the 1920s setting, and it was really good. I'm gonna put this in good, I think. So, alright. Then we got What If You and Me. That one was actually good. That was another like neighbors to lovers kind of romance. But the main character, she's actually, I think it's something like she watches a lot of true crime or something, so she gets like really paranoid about people breaking into her house. And she befriends her neighbor who's a firefighter or something, and then somebody actually does end up breaking into her house, and so she's like, she ends up like asking the neighbor to like stay with her to keep her safe because she's like super paranoid about it. But it's a lot more than that. But that was good. I'm gonna put that in good. Oh, and then Heartstopper. Heartstopper is so good. It's such a great graphic novel. I actually read all of them in Libby, and it's actually formatted very well for ebook. Some of the graphic novels I've tried to read, they're not formatted right. They're like the wide, but this was actually page by page, and it's just so cute. I'm gonna put that one in great. I realized I did read part of Your World when I did the quiz, and it was all the romance novels. I was like, Part of Your World? What's that about? No. This woman goes away to like a B&B, and the owner there is a carpenter, and so she's like a high society person, and he's, small town carpenter kind of thing, and they learn to understand each other, kind of romance novel kind of thing. It was very cute. I like that. I'll put it under good. The Wedding Date. I remember reading it. I don't remember. I think it was another fake relationship one. I'm gonna put it in good because I don't remember. Oh, and then Flirtosaurus. Oh, very weird. So the main character works at a museum and is helping develop a new dinosaur exhibit or something, and she's just an absolute mess, and it's supposed to be funny, but I just don't like that kind of thing, characters that are just so don't know what they're doing. And I actually did not finish this one because it annoyed me. There was a scene, so she works at the museum, and one night they have a sleepover thing for kids from a school or something, and she ends up being one of the chaperones. And the guy it was a really weird scenario. So she ends up being a chaperone, and so the kids are all in one room, and she is with a couple of their chaperones, and somehow she ends up accidentally taking shrooms, and then goes with the guy she's interested in into a different room. It's while high is gonna have sex with him, and I'm like, nope, I'm done. This is just stupid. While there's kids in the other room, I'm like, nope. It was just this is not entertaining, so that was a do not read. It was not very good. Right, and then Kill to Order was cute with the Highland Games, and it's a brother's best friend romance novel kind of thing, and it was cute. That one would go in good because that was fun, and there's a couple in that series, and they were fun with the Highland Games and everything, which was fun. And then another Alexis Hall, For Real, is so good. It's an age gap one, but it switches perspectives back and forth, and just the emotions in it are so good. It's really good. Favorite or great? It's really good. I'm gonna put it in great. That one's really good. For the type of romance novel it is, it's done very well. So look it up if you like that kind of romance novel. I recommend reading For Real. And then My Conan Only, which is cute. It's another romance novel part of a series. And there's this family that owns ice cream shop in town. And so one of the sons of the family doesn't want to go into the family business or whatever, and meets this girl, and it's just really cute. It's all the different brothers finding partners in the different novels. That one was really cute. That one goes in good. That was a good one. Oh, This Body's Not Big Enough for the Both of Us is so good. It's another Edgar Cantero who wrote Meddling Kids, and it's that same sort of sarcastic, quippy, witty voice, but the main characters are actually, it's a set of twins, but they're in the same body. It's a weird, they sort of explain the sort of phenomenon. It's originally thought that they're schizophrenic and has two personalities, but it's actually, it's scientifically proven that they're two different people in one body, and, one is responsible, one is, absolutely manic, and they're detectives, and they end up, trying to solve this murder mystery, and it's just so good, and the character is amazing. So that one I think also goes in favorites. I love Edgar Cantero. He has one other book that I still need to read, but those are both absolutely fantastic. God, The Heartbreak Bakery was really cute. I looked up books that had non-binary characters because I wanted to read a book with a non-binary character in it since the novel I'm writing I'm writing a non-binary character. I'm I've never actually read anything with a non-binary character, so let me find something, and it was really cute. It was really well done because it's actually, the main character is in high school but working at a bakery. And again, like I said, I usually now that I'm in my 30s, I really can't relate to like high school type of stories, but this was good. Like, it would have worked if the main character was at any age, but they're sort of discovering who they are. They've got a friend and they're non-binary, and they have the cool thing where they show that, I can't remember the character's name, but they have a pin that says whether they're he or they that day, and so that was an interesting way of going about it. But the main character breaks up with their girlfriend, and they're upset, and they're baking, and they like bake a batch of brownies, and they realize that the people who bought the brownies from the bakery all ended up breaking up, and so they're worried that they put that like emotion in the brownies, and so decide they have to go around and like get all the couples back together, and it's really cute. That one I'm gonna put in great, because that was really fun and really well written. Oh, the Love Con. The Love Con is really fun. So it's another, is it Rivals or? No, that's what it is. It's a fake relationship romance novel. And it's the main character wants to be a professional cosplay designer, or like cosplayer, like designing things for cosplay. And there's this competition at a bunch of different conventions, and her partner in the business is like helping her out, but she has to like pretend that they're together for the competition kind of thing, to like add to the stakes and the like intrigue for the televised competition, and it's really cute. That one goes in great. That was a really good one. And then Mickey Chambers Shakes It Up was cute. It's part-time English teacher ends up she needs another job, and so she takes a job at a bar, meets the owner, and it's sort of the Grumpy Sunshine romance novel. It was fine. They just didn't do the like development very well. They like talked about how they were falling in love, but they didn't show it, so like it was kind of annoying, but it was fine. I'm gonna put that under meh, because it just wasn't written as well. It was an interesting concept, but it was just kind of meh. And then How to Find Love in a Bookshop. I'm actually still currently in the middle of this one, but again, it's another bookish novel, and this woman, her father who owned the bookshop died, and she has to sort of struggle with keeping the bookshop open and keeping his legacy going. And it's a sort of a big cast novel, so you get to see from different people's perspectives, and so that one's really good. I'm gonna put that in good for now, because I'm still technically reading it, so it's not a did not finish, it's a currently reading. I'll put it in good for now. We can come back and see if it ranks higher, but yep. So that's my scoring. I've got 5 in favorites. I guess I'm really picky. I was debating moving Station 11 up, but it's still a little heavy, so I don't know if I can put it as favorite. Alright, well that was fun. Hope you enjoyed that. I think I might at some point go through my favorites and maybe some of the ones I ranked in great and do like in-depth book reviews on them to talk about them more. So let me know if there's any one in me want me to go into more. How, maybe if you've read some of these, how you would rank them. And as always, I hope you all have a wonderful day.